Here we go. Good afternoon, good evening, early evening. Welcome to the United Stand. It's happening. We can get ahead of ourselves. It is happening. Loads to talk about Jadon Sancho. Hold tight to people in the comments who thought it was going to be Mark. No, it's not going to be Mark. It is me. It's Flex. I'm in the house. Get used to it. 5-year personal terms near. That is what we've got there in the title of the video. Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester United are in advanced negotiations with Jadon Sancho. We're now hearing that from Sky as well. We're in advanced negotiations. It's happening. Fabrizio Romano earlier, advanced days, Man United always wanted to pay him using add-ons and installments after virus. That is what it is right now, right? It's all about the add-ons. We knew, there were certain people saying we're not going to be able to spend 100 million on this player in this current climate, etc., etc., etc. But it's out of that. It's out of that. We knew it was going to be in installments. When I spoke to James Cooper earlier, just before we came out of the lockdown, and he said that we wanted to be in for Sancho. We wanted Sancho, but the construction of the deal was going to have to be different. Borussia Dortmund know they need to sell the player, and we've done it, and that is what's going on. We've got it in there, and we're going to get Jadon Sancho. I think it's time to get excited, guys. I really do. At the end of the day, it's you know what? We moan a lot of the time about things taking too long at Manchester United. We really do. We take too long. Other teams are more cutthroat. We're not kind of ruthless in the transfer market. And to be fair, as soon as we've come out of the end of the season, we're a week on now, just over a week on, and it's happening. It's happening. What can you say? You can't really diss that. Do you know what I'm saying? I tweeted Ed today. I tweeted Ed a picture of Ed. Ed was rocking into Carrington with sunglasses when it was grey outside with flipping and it's raining. He means business. Do you know what I mean? Don Woodward is onto it. So look, it's going to be a 5-year deal, and I reckon it's going to be probably in the region of at least 200,000 pounds a week. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. 5-year deal, but we've got to get it. We've got to get it over the line. And we know that with Manchester United as well, we get a lot of things where the fun's taken out of the move. Do you know what I mean? It takes too long. It takes too long to make a move happen. And that is what we get a lot of the time with Sancho. But for me, I'm over the moon with this. I actually think this has been quite quick. We had to wait for at least the transfer window to open for me. But since it's been open, we've just got straight on it. Do you know what I mean? We've got straight on it, and we look like we're finally about to secure the player that we've needed for so long. A contribution from Sean Miller says, fired up about this deal, Flex. Can't wait to see the front six next year. Who do we go for once Sancho has signed? Thanks for all the content, mate. Cheers. And that's just what it is. I think we want to see us be ruthless. Get the Sancho deal done. Start looking at an attacking midfielder. Start looking at a centre-back if we can. Maybe even a defensive midfielder. We want to see us go on to the next. We knew it was going to be a lot to get this deal done. We knew that. We knew it was going to cost a hell of a lot of money. But to everyone out there saying, you're never going to be able to afford that. You're never going to be able to buy a player for 120 million up front right now. I understand that, but we always knew that's not what was going to happen. We knew that wasn't what's going to happen. We knew that we was going to get straight into it and make the installments happen and construct a deal that suits Dortmund. Dortmund know that they're going to get the money, just not right now. It's as simple as that. And you're looking at where Sancho is going to fit in for us. Whether it's the left, whether it's the right, you could argue Rashford's doing fine, so leave him there. Greenwood's doing great. We don't need to. Yes, we do need Sancho, and he's going to slot straight in onto that right-hand side for me. And you're also looking at the depth. To answer your question, though, who should we go for next? I mean, I know we're talking about Gabriel at Lille. Someone says Van der Beek. The situation with Jack Grealish seems to have cooled slightly as well. I understand that, especially with an 80 million price tag, which seems absurd because Villa stayed up. I don't think there's much value in that. But at the end of the day, we need to kick on. We need players in that position. We can't rely on Bruno for the whole year. Premodigy, thanks for the contribution. He says Edward would be in at Carrington more likely means he is trying to sort out Pogba's contract, in my opinion, rather than that Sancho deal. I think that's already done. Fair play. If you think that, that's cool, which means that Don Woodward already done the legwork in the Sancho deal. And actually, we've seen us be quite ruthless. We knew that we wanted him all before the transfer window opened. And it's like as soon as the transfer window was closed, especially with the new season starting so quickly, we've actually started to move like a big club, I have to say. Is it going to be enough just getting Sancho? No, it's not. Don't get too gassed because we know that we need more than that. Do you know what I'm saying? We know that. We know we need more than Sancho. So we can't get ahead of ourselves. But it's a fantastic start. We want to see ourselves be ruthless, be clinical, and just get straight in on it. Do you know what I'm saying? Get straight in on Jadon Sancho. And for me, I'm buzzing. I know you guys are buzzing. I mean, just to go through to what Sky have been saying, if you're just joining us, 5-year personal terms near with Sancho. Sky Sports have just kind of put out there within the last 5 minutes, and so is Fabrizio Romano earlier. If you haven't seen it, if you're just joining us, Manchester United are close to agreeing personal terms in principle on a 5-year contract with Jadon Sancho as discussions continue at an advanced stage with Borussia Dortmund over the structure of the transfer fee. So if you are just joining us, nearly at 5,000 people watching, smash a like on the video, hit subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner if you're new, and you can also join the United Stand Members Club as well. Get your super chats in, we'll make sure they get read out. But if you are just joining us, we're deep into negotiations on personal terms with Jadon Sancho. The only thing left is structuring the deal. That's the only thing left. Structuring that deal and working out exactly how we're going to pay that money to Dortmund, given the situation with COVID-19. I love this. I comment obvious stuff. Rival fans are in the mud. You know what? I think it was Rizzy. Shout out Rizzy. He tweeted today. We're a few days away from rival fans saying that Jadon Sancho's crap and overpriced and la di da di da di da. It's all coming. It's all coming. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all coming at the end of the day. That's how I see it. Position Door says, big up Flamengo. Got my Flamengo shirt on today. I've had that on today just randomly. Didn't expect to go live with this great news, but hey, where it happens, it happens. You've got to go live. I'm buzzing. I mean, get your thoughts into me. After Jadon Sancho, who should we be going for? But more importantly, where is Sancho going in for you guys? Is he going straight into the right wing? Is he going onto the left wing? Let me know. Let me know what you guys are saying. I want to know, because for me, it shores up that right-hand side. Mason Greenwood has been absolutely brilliant. He's been fantastic. Do you know what I'm saying? He really has. But he's a young player. Yes, Sancho's young as well, but Sancho's way more experienced than Mason Greenwood. And he's a different type of player than Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood is a straight, sharp shooter, knows where the ball is, direct, get his shot off, left foot, right foot, whatever. Play him anywhere across the front three. I do believe he will score goals. Sancho, an assist merchant, a goal merchant, a creative merchant, a speed merchant, a skill merchant. He has it all. He really does has it all. 17 goals today, 17 goals this year in the Bundesliga, 17 assists in the Bundesliga in 32 games. And he's done something similar to that last year, if I'm not mistaken. D-Dot says right wing. Hold tight, everyone who's like for the first time in their life seen me without a hat and they feel like they've never seen me without a hat. I don't wear a hat 24/7. Welcome. I do have hair. It got fade. I got trim. Like, welcome to that. You losers, grow up. Big up you lot. And what I will say is, back to the Sancho thing, is that he will fit straight in on the right hand side. I think Marcus Rashford has got the left wing nailed on. Yes, there's a little bit of a thing where people were saying if Martial gets moved out of the centre forward spot for Greenwood, then Martial would drop to the bench and Sancho would start. Look, if we're going to get into that, then we could just say, for me, Martial goes to the left and Greenwood starts up front and Sancho on the right. Sancho is starting games, 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? It really is. He's starting games for us. I wouldn't let anyone tell you anything any more different than that. I'm absolutely buzzing. And you know what? Look, at the end of the day, yeah, we've got to a point where Ollie has got us where we know what our starting 11 is. And then we saw the frailties with that starting 11 from the beginning of Project Restart to the end of the season. What happens when we get an injury? What happens when someone's tired in a game? What happens when someone's just not at it? There were times where if our squad was deep enough and we had better players coming off the bench, I dare say in that Leicester game, Fernandes probably would have got taken off. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not me hating on Fernandes. That's just me saying at the time he wasn't playing very well. But you look at our bench and you think, but who's Sancho? What's his name? Bruno's having a bad game, but who on our bench is going to come in and do a better job? Who? You tell me. And that's the problem that we've got. We don't have that right now. Dan James is good in certain games and has done well coming up from the Championship. £15 million player from Swansea, and Ollie himself has admitted that he's had to play him a hell of a lot more than he needed to. Almost burnt him out to the point where he was pretty much non-productive towards towards the end of the season, you know, and didn't really get back into the side. Greenwood coming in at the right time and done his thing. But also, if we're looking to truly get back to where we want to be, we need squad depth. I don't see City fans moaning that, oh, Sane's on the bench today. And I know it's a different situation because he wanted to leave all the shit and didn't play. But in general, when he was there, they wasn't moaning because they had Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Sane, and Sterling all going for the wing positions. Were they moaning? No, they're not. Do you know what I'm saying? They're great options to have. And if you want to be, like I hear LeBron say, you want to be good or you want to be great. If you want to be good, have a good first 11. But when your first 11 dies, your results die with it. We need to be in a situation where we've got strength in depth and quality in depth, not just numbers for the sake of numbers, having numbers, a strong squad. We need the drop off in quality when we make substitutions to not be that great. So I'm not worried about Mason Greenwood at all. So anyone thinking, what does this mean for great Mason Greenwood? I think it's fantastic for Mason Greenwood. He has another young English player around him, like Martial, like Rashford, in Sancho. And it just strengthens it. It's only good for England. Do you know what I'm saying? They kick each other on. Creed, OF Toms, thanks for the contribution. He says, always love the shows. Always love your shows, Flex. I want to see Dan James as backup for left wing, Greenwood as backup number 9, and Sancho starting off the right MUFC. That could equally happen as well. I mean, a lot of Dan James's early work was actually from the left-hand side. He was probably arguably better, cutting in, getting his shots off. Seems that he was just more of a crossing guy when he was on the right-hand side. I understand that. I get that totally. But I could have that. I mean, but for me, I still want to see Martial be the main number 9. I think Solskjaer deserves the credit for that. Martial deserves the credit for that. He's got the goals out of Martial. And the way Martial looks after the ball, the way Martial brings people into the ball, he's the glue for the attack. Martial is our number 9. Forget it. We don't need Raul Jimenez to replace him. We don't need a Werner to replace Martial. Martial is going to get goals, 100%. Look what he's done this season. And that's missing. How long did he miss? Probably 8-9 games, something like that. Couple of months at least. You add Sancho into that fluid front three, I think it lessens the need. I've always said this. Sancho, Martial, Greenwood is absolutely frightening. Bruno Pogba just behind. Frightening. Do you know what I'm saying? Absolutely frightening. So you can say what you want about, you know, some of these old school pundits are like, Man United need a proper goal scorer, or they need this, they need that. Well, Martial and Rashford are only going to go from strength to strength. Greenwood's going to take us up a notch. As he already has, and Sancho's going to come in and work wonders with that. I think you've got arguably on paper the best front three in the league. You've got Sane, Firmino, Salah, and you saw our front three actually outscored those. I'm not saying we're better, because as a team, clearly we're not. We're 33 points off Liverpool, 30 points, whatever it is. But on paper, when you're starting to build, when you turn up on a Saturday at 4:30 or 3 o'clock or whatever, right? And you see on your team sheet, Rashford, Sancho, Martial, Bruno just behind. I don't care what defense you are, that's going to cause you problems. People can talk about Oli, tactical this and tactical that. One thing we do know, which is a fact, is that if Oli gets better players, he gets better results. And with getting Jadon Sancho, he's getting a world-class player who can be our number 7 for the next 10 years as a minimum. Do you know what I mean? It really is that good. Over 8,000 people watching live. That is brilliant. Smash a like on the video. Hit subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner if you're new. If you are joining us, Jadon Sancho, I'm not going to say has agreed terms, but 5-year personal terms are very, very close. Manchester United are in advanced terms with Jadon Sancho, and all that is to be sorted out is just the construction of the fee. I know Dortmund looked like they wanted that, 100-odd million, 90 million up front, etc. I don't think that's what it's going to be. We're still waiting to see exactly what it's going to be. But I think we'll give them 80 to 85 million up front. And I think I said it to someone else. I was talking to someone on Twitter. And then with the add-ons, Dortmund will get close to 120 million. We know that. We know that. You're going to get that. So for me, it's fantastic business. And do you know what? It's not over the line yet, but with how quickly we're moving on this and how quickly the story's gathering momentum into genuine, deep into the negotiations, we've actually got it right for a change. Do you know what I'm saying? We've actually got it right for a change, because at the end of the day, we couldn't have got it done any quicker, because, we didn't have the transfer window open. Do you know what I mean? And with that, and I think what's so important is with Europa League coming up. We're going to mix and match the team. I understand that, but I want to win that, and we'll talk more about that in a different show. But I want to win that. I think it'd be great for this crop of players. It'd be great for Sancho to see that the club's going places and going in the right direction, which you can already see. But as the new season starts so quickly, we've got to get our targets done. We've got to get it. I mean, I envisage we're going to go deep into the Europa League anyway. So we're going to get an extension of when our Premier League season actually starts. There's no chance we're starting on the 12th unless a catastrophe happens. We're 5-0 up against Las Linz and we lose 6-0 and go out. we're going to go through to the last stages, and even the next round, I still think we'll get past. Is it Istanbul or Copenhagen? I think it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's those two. I think we get past that, so we go into the semis. So for me, I'm like, at the end of the day, that's where we're at. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where we're at. So we need to get our deals done very, very early. This is from Prime Prodigy. Thanks for the contribution. Says United just leaked the home kit on Insta by mistake. LOL, they deleted it in seconds later. Well, probably the admin have got, like, you know, itchy fingers. They're all over the place. They know that Sancho's coming, and they've probably just tweeted out the wrong thing. But to be honest, I think we've all pretty much seen the home kit anyway, and I've seen the confirmation of this away kit. It's like a dark kind of ashy green kind of color, which I don't mind. There was another contribution I wanted to get read out. Rupin says, lock that damn piano up. I don't want to see any pianos around Carrington or Old Trafford. Yeah, I'm with you. It'll be very interesting because, look, we all want to get behind the signing. You want to get excited. You want to see him sign a team. You want to see Sancho just get unveiled. But it'll be very interesting to see how they do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Hold tight, Benteke the GOAT. He says, this channel is obsessed with Sancho. It's borderline creepy at this stage. I'm going to say, you've got Christian Benteke and calling him the GOAT. That's more creepy than anything. Being a Palace fan, you should understand that he's your shittest player. I don't think he scored in about 2 years. So you're talking about creepy. Rating Benteke as a GOAT is probably more creepy than about to sign a £120 million proven player. So get out of here with that. Do you think Sancho can have an impact like Bruno, says Peter Mellon? And you know what, right? That's a good question. You're talking about the impact that Sancho's going to have, right? When a player moves league, yes, you've got to allow them to acclimatise. And we kind of wanted to afford Bruno the time to do that. We knew how much of a good player he could be, but none of us knew how good he was going to be in that period. And we was all willing to give him that grace time. I remember talking on Sky when we signed him, and I was like, look, he's fantastic. We know what he can do. He's got goals and assists in him, whatever. But he might need time to adapt. It just goes that he didn't. Sancho's a little bit different. And I'll tell you why he's a little bit different. Because he's in the England national team, we've seen him do it at that level. We've seen him perform at a high level in the Champions League. And obviously, his game came up through England before he went out there, through the Manchester City Academy. So I don't mind that. I think it will take him less time. I really do. I think he will hit the ground running. I do. I just think he's just so quick. He's so dynamic. And the maturity of Jadon Sancho, of when to release the ball, when to bring teammates into play. He usually makes the right choice at the right time. And Ricky's a big admirer of this. Ricky likes to keep things simple. You know what I mean? And Jadon Sancho, I think, as good as he is, I think if you understand football, he's actually a very simple player. Do you know what I mean? He's actually a very, very simple player, because yes, he can get at you. Yes, he can take you left and right. Yes, he's tremendously quick, but his decision making, I think he actually makes the correct decision more often than not, which is usually the simple path. Playing in the opposition who's in a better, playing in a teammate who's in a better position than him, playing in a teammate who's in a goal scoring opportunity, drawing fouls, drawing players into him to create players for others. He's very, very, very sensible in his play and mature for how well he is. He fits into exactly what Solskjaer's trying to do. He fits the mold perfectly. As soon as we knew there was a snippet of us getting Jadon Sancho, we knew that we had to get him. Every Manchester United fan knew. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand how any Manchester United fan could have reservations about the signing. I think it's the perfect signing for us. Just shout out for Fanzone Podcast on Insta. There you go. There's your shout out. And there's another contribution here from Beethoven's, what says Beethoven's. In flexwetrust.com, I bleed red and blue. So I'm torn on the prospect of Inter versus United tuning in from New York. Oh, so you're Inter Milan. I bleed red and blue. I'm thinking that I think he's saying he's an Inter Milan. He's torn up the prospect, he said, of Inter Milan versus United. I'm not torn. I hope we smash them, and I hope Lukaku doesn't get on the score sheet as well. But that'll be a great final. So there you have it. We're going to wrap up there. If you are just joining us, listen, Jadon Sancho, 5-year personal terms are very, very close. We are in advanced stages of talking with Jadon Sancho. Shout out to everyone who's made contributions. Shout out to everybody watching. Smash a like on the video. It's time to start puffing out our chest, guys. Maybe, just maybe, we're turning that corner and starting to move like a big club, being ruthless, being strong and decisive in the transfer market. We're looking to get Sanchez out as well. You know, that's Gursan Singh just said Sanchez deal done to Inter. I don't know if that's just breaking now. I can't see that, but if it is, but we have seen today that that's a deal that they're looking to get done. Oli is slowly but surely unpicking this whole situation and building. He really is. There's a couple more contributions I want to get out. Love your Flamengo jersey, says Robert Suarez. Big up. I got this when I went to Brazil. I spent some time out in Rio a couple of years ago and had to get a shirt out there, so I got this one. Pau Torres or Gabriel? I personally think Gabriel is faster than Torres and will complement Maguire. Being left-footed means Maguire has a better, it just went off there, has a better partner. Look, on the Gabriel situation, I'm not going to lie. I've seen a little bit of him on YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what the best is. He looks fast. He looks strong. Decent left foot. Looks like he could be an upgrade to Lindelof. But again, very early days. But it's all about Sancho right now. I'm signing off. Make sure you follow me across all of the socials, FlexUTD. Check out my YouTube channel, The Flex, as well. And more importantly, above all of that, make sure you are subscribed to the United Stand across all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and obviously make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. Tap the like button. Let's see how many likes we can get on this. And as for Richo Romano would say, here we go. Another thing I would like to say is the interview we just done with Mr. Fjortoft as well is up there talking about Jadon Sancho. So once you've finished checking this out, make sure you guys check out that the video we've done with, he's a Norwegian journalist, just like Oli, Norwegian, keep it in the family. Make sure you guys check out, he had some very interesting things to say about Jadon Sancho, which pretty much are all coming to fruition a few hours after that interview. So you know what we do here at United Stand, we get you the best stuff, we get it to you early, no gimmicks, no lies. We're not going to come in here and tell you lies, we tell you what we know, or comment about what's out there. Simple as that. We are out of here. Peace.